Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 1 of the Grand Finals here, ESL One Germany 2020. I'm Moody Pixel here with Fogged, and we're getting ready for this first bit of action between NAVI and Liquid. Fogged, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to see my favorite set in Dota 2 at the moment. Roger's rocking it. The new Clockwork set, everybody.
Not sure if we can quite hear you. I hope you're right, Fogged. Anyway, let's get ourselves into the game here and see what we've got going on. Some love already being shared between the two teams. Batrider sending some love out to Iceberg, even though he didn't spell his name right. So, come on, I don't think he did at least. Well, here we are. Let's go and see what happens as we look at this. Fogged, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I'm still not hearing you, Fogged. Hopefully you're going to be able to get that sorted.
I'll fix it in a moment. Not sure what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the lane setup. So Tiger on the IO, standard starting here. Picks up the bracer. That's the way to go right now on an IO. Down bottom, Boxi on his Slardar. Pretty much the best hero, the hero to play and pick. Over in the mid lane, of course, Quakefer. I think Quakefer, we'll see what sort of a time he has here. Iceberg, of course, coming in with that response, that last pick DK. So obviously not seeming to bother too much about the Viper, even though he's a melee hero in that matchup. Top lane, Mickey on his Void. He'll be supported up by Insanio on his signature Rubik. Roger on the support clock. It's going to be making moves around. Well, so always want to fly. So the panel said, going to be looking at what sort of lane setups they're able to force as the supports move around in an attempt to try and make things work for Vichu. Vichu on his Spectre. Fogged, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
I'm still not getting you, Fogged.
Still not getting me.
I think maybe the stream can hear you, but I cannot right now.
I think the stream can hear you, but ours must have gotten some type of mess up. But I think people heard me say how much I love this Clockwork set.
They're going to start things, Navi, with Vichu up on this top lane. Roger using the cogs here to control the creeps and try and block them off as best as he can. And that does mean that down bottom, General's going to be left on his own here to play things solo against Boxi and Tiger. And we'll see how well this mid lane matchup goes as Iceberg versus Quakefer. We'll go down. Fogged, I believe the stream can hear you, so Fogged, take it away whilst I just double check there's nothing going wrong on my side.
I'm reconnecting as well, Owen.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you fixed it, Fogged. You fixed it.
Something must have gotten messed up on our end there.
All right, we're good. We can hear each other. Let's go. Fogged, I'm sure you were saying amazing things, or at least trying to, whilst I probably talked over you. So take it away again. What are you sort of saying about what we're seeing here?
It looks like NAVI, they got the lanes they wanted, right? They wanted to have V2 and dodge the Slardar IO pressure lane. I think this is exactly the lane setup that they did want to have. And Mickey is going to be slowed down a decent amount by it. Iceberg should be able to get some decent farm in this mid lane. So, yeah, I think NAVI's very happy with this setup.
Yeah, and sort of overall, what's the prospects of this game going on look like to you for NAVI? Like, how scared do they need to be of this Chronosphere plus the break of the Viper? Is that going to be that deadly, or is it not as scary as it actually seems mechanically?
I think it's definitely going to be very deadly. I think NAVI, the other day, what I saw them do to Mud Golems is going to be the exact style they approach here. They're not going to give... They're going to try not to let Liquid set up for those type of plays. They're going to try to break these initiations. And if the Chrono does go off, I'm assuming we're going to see them just heavily focused to stop the Viper from getting those breaks off in there with either Roger or some other, the lasso coming out from the Batrider. A couple of different things they can use to trip that up. Well, definitely looking like a strong draft coming out from NAVI in terms of just being able to battle as well, too. And just being able to battle where they choose to take the fights with this Batrider and with this Clockwork. They've been really good about this on the side of Roger in general. Specialists.
I see in mid lane CS-wise, yeah, it's pretty even. Yeah. I mean, so in this matchup, is that something like you would expect when you saw these two heroes being picked? Despite Iceberg being the DK melee hero, is it just the regen from the passive is enough to allow you to withstand the harassment from a Viper in lane?
Yeah, you're not going to stand in the break, you don't have a stun that's holding you in or anything like that. You can manipulate where the creeps are, and most of the time with these Vipers, when they go for this skill build, it just pushes into your tower, and then you're DK farming under tower, which is quite easy.
Yeah, he's certainly showing that, keeping very close to Quakefer in CS, 22 for 1, except 25 for 2.
On bottom, General, they're getting aggro on him. Should be able to get him here.
First blood.
No, definitely with the setup that they have, he's going to be the one that has a bit of a tougher time, and it's showing. But definitely paying off in the sense that top lane, Farm of the Voice be slowing down. Mickey just going to try and turn towards Roger. Just have to opt for the jump away. Doesn't want to try and jump in aggressive onto the clockwork, whilst Roger's got always want to fly by his side.
I feel like it's really important and it's really significant for Liquid that they are getting this much farm in bottom. Sure, I'm happy. Like, Navi is definitely very happy with the way the lane setup is, but I don't think Liquid's very upset at all. Boxi, when he's playing this Slardar, he's an animal. Like, he's honestly like the best Slardar that I've seen for a long time now, because they've been playing it for about a year now, for 8-9 months, while other teams weren't looking at this hero that much. He knows and understands this hero so well. Getting aggressive on General again. We'll give some respect though to the Firefly. Yeah, this hero can change so much because it changes how much damage your entire draft does and how aggressive you can play. Because then you just have this frontline beast that contributes so much in the game. He gives you almost everything. He gives you the Roshan. He gives you great team fighting. Maybe lack in tower pushing, but it's just a phenomenal hero to lead the charge.
Yeah, and it's a hero as well that's probably going to be able to run into Navi's lineup without dying too quickly at the start. I guess the biggest threat down the line is sort of the burn from the stun ray. But other than that, Boxi is going to be pretty survivable against what Navi's lineup's got. Roger around the rune. He's going to try and block off Tiger from getting it. Tiger's still able to grab it, and he's also able to tether away. Back over to Boxi. Gets away from Roger and General.
Ooh, General, he's in the water now too. Boxi, he's speedy there. Got the sprint's going off, but Firefly goes off. Again, they'll give respect, especially around the cliff when there's a flame break point.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Don't want to get cliffed up there.
Instantly running away there, Boxi and Tiger.
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, there's some things that Boxi definitely does have to watch out for besides just that Sunray. There is some hard lockdowns that he has to worry about. You know, the lasso as well as that Dragon Tail. They do trip up Slardar decently. These long duration disables that just hold him in place can be pretty annoying. And I think that Sunray is going to be a big thing we have to keep our eyes on for Navi this game, because there's not the craziest amount of ways that Liquid actually does have to just stop it. They'd have to commit either the lift, the chrono, the Void has to get on top of him, or the Slardar has to get on top of that Phoenix in these situations. So that's one that we'll have to see in the later stages how much it's going to have an impact.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And top lane, Mickey and B-Tune farming just as well as one another right now. Mickey, of course, with the lane setup, having that XP advantage though. So looking it in the 6 and having that Chronosphere ready for plays before V-Tune's going to be able to turn up with Horns.
And important to point out too is Insania, he's doing Insania things. You know, Mickey is free farming top, but he's also leaving the lane, and Koikfa just farmed a triple stack with his Nether Toxin. And they, I think that's actually the only stack they had. I saw he made a couple mistakes on stacking the camp to the south of that, but yeah, they still enabled the Viper to get a bit more farmed up. But Iceberg still, he's actually the leader of net worth right now still after this matchup. Very tough for him to take advantage of his DK form though versus that Viper, especially with Koikfa being already up to level 8. And I do love the build from Koikfa. He's going for that 8-toast, just having his own form of lockdown to keep these heroes inside of that break. Because since he is playing versus double heroes, right, he can break the DK and the Spectre. It's that much more valuable this game.
On bottom. Another attempt here towards General or Roger. Roger has got the cogs down. Boxi, he'll actually just turn back over towards General. And here they go with that overcharge. Trying to get that last few hits onto General, but General's able to keep the distance.
Now Roger might get turned on.
Battery assault causing some issues, but the crush back down. Roger pushed them back once more with the cogs, and they're being able to keep themselves alive here, Roger and General. A little too tricky for Boxi and Tiger to take down at the moment, but still taking a lot of damage from these moves from Slardar IO duo lane, meaning that Roger and General are being very limited in terms of what they can actually find down here.
Yeah, I mean, General's actually not getting that much farm at all down here.
Okay, he's going to drop the chrono. Sees the opportunity to grab the two of them in. They'll burst down, always want to fly.
Easy kill. Able to, I mean, that's from Insania just walking away from the lane so much, right? He's giving that solo experience to that Void. V-Tune's still not quite that level 6. Iceberg starting to try to threaten that mid tower, but every time he steps up, he can't even get a hit on the mid tower, actually. It's only got 4 damage taken so far. Very nicely done by Koikfa guarding that tower. And Liquid they're just playing the lanes right now, and it's working phenomenally for them. Navi's trying to move around and do some adjustments with some of these heroes, and not working at the moment. Liquid's still able to just apply too much pressure until there are those level 6s that come out. In particular for General, this bottom lane is very problematic for him until he has his lasso.
And even then, you know, for General, it's not quite like he gets to 6 and then he's going to be very likely to get active. He's going to have to farm up the boots to travel. He's got 850 gold into the recipe, but definitely not going to be one of the quicker timings we've seen from General's bat, as he has had this hard lane to go against at the start.
He can still punish in his lane with lasso if they overplay, and they do have this huge stack that he's going to look to farm probably really soon here with his Firefly. That'll enable him to get that. And Liquid, they might have to actually come down and contest with Koikfa if they want to. Boxi, he's getting stacked up, and there's the rotation. Koikfa, he's got Atos. They can take this stack. I don't know if Navi can actually contest it when Koikfa sets up for it.
Yeah, I think
this will be a big denial of farm for General.
They step up, get Atos into the crush stun control of Boxi.
They'll just die so fast, especially with the overcharge of the IO behind. Koikfa, look, he's wrapping around. They see General. And
they go with the setup. Rod to start off the action. Viper strike down. Boxi able to close the gap, and General will fall. Quick move and a nice reveal there of that Atos completion, getting them the kill, and will secure the space for Liquid to clean up this stack for themselves.
Yeah, now Iceberg immediately, he sees that movement bottom. His DK form is actually coming back up. He's going to get a lot of damage on mid tower out of that. Insania is near to be able to slow down the push a little bit, but it's only level 4 Rubik. Just
at bottom. Roger, he's tried to grab the rune, but Tiger was able to get in there before him, and Roger's going to die for his attempts. Liquid getting another kill. DD Rune also spawning in the river as Boxi will pick that up. Not likely to be able to find Iceberg, though, as Iceberg gets back up to the high ground. Boxi, he got Tiger. They're going to smoke, actually, and move to quickly get down to this bottom lane and either go for a surprise. They're trying to dive in on Mickey. He's got Time Walk up in a second. General with the lasso. They've got the damage. Ooh, only just, but they do. General moving up top. And Navi also bringing Iceberg in to continue to use the rest of this Elder Dragon form to put some damage onto this top tier 1, knowing that this is, out of the 3 towers, the one that Liquid's most likely to not be able to defend.
What a nice move from General. He was actually playing on the side of the trees there with Always Want to Fly, waiting for Mickey to make a mistake, waiting for him to step up too far. Gets the perfect.
Oh, they're coming in with a relocate. Iceberg is trying to TP out, but Boxi's got a bash prepped. Instantly in, and Iceberg's out for 30 and no way to TP back to lane. And they knock him out, and
they got the tower though, so they got what they came for. The Void and the tower did get taken out before they did get cleaned up, so Navi, they lose Iceberg, which hurts because he's worth so much, but did come and get what they wanted. Koikfa now backs up. Insania still looking to have just continued doing Insania things. Triples and quad stacks all over the jungle for this Viper to keep being enabled. Koikfa's actually so farmed. Treads Atos Windlace at the moment. Still can die quite easily, even though he is this strong. There's a lot of different factors that Navi does have to be able to bring him out. Some repositioning from the Batrider. And that stun ray, as we keep saying, will be really important to kill that Viper. But now Liquid, they're able to do what they want to do in this game. Back up, just chill and farm. Now the Void's getting to be able to farm all these stacks as Insania and Taiga, they've been preparing. Navi don't have the tools quite yet to be able to invade. No bots on General, and Iceberg, he had the blink queued up initially, but he was having such a good time. He's now just decided to go for the BKB instead to protect himself, but that's going to limit their initiations. It's going to limit their aggression that I feel like Navi usually really likes to play with.
Sure. I mean, they've got other heroes to get in on the front lines though, right? You know, General and Roger, they'll be looking to make the initiation. I mean, even V-Tune with the Horn. You know,
yeah. I feel like he still might need a blink dagger though, like right afterwards. Him, General, still the blink daggers are so damn valuable when you have something like Spectre, because then you could just pick and choose every time who you do jump. So that'll hurt. And I mean, Liquid, they've already got their blink on Boxi, so they're going to be able to look to fight themselves quite often.
Yeah, Boxi is still, yeah, I mean, both him and Quoifer have a huge amount of kill potential right now, and they're teaming up continuously. Top lane Quoifer just hiding behind Boxi. NAVI's bringing some numbers in, though, and Roger is going to start things. Goes in with a hook shot. Horn's going to come out. They'll look to take down Boxi, but Boxi's too tanky. Just stands
now General.
Roger. General's going to get Viper Strike. Relocate brings Mickey in. Liquid easily able to hold their ground up top. As NAVI, they really tried to force that fight.
Mid, Iceberg, has to be, if Insana gets the lift, he might just die. We're able to back away. But yeah, NAVI, they try to bring some numbers, but looks like they bring more, and now Boxi's found V2.
V2's got the blade mouse, so Boxi will have to back away. But yeah, a fight that NAVI go hunting for. They put a lot into it as well, using the Horn to try and get it going their way, and Liquid, they're able to just calmly react with the relocate. And already, just 14 minutes in, it's 8-1, and it's a 4K lead for Liquid. It's really starting to build up. You can see on the network, all three of their cores in a fantastic position, whereas for NAVI, the one really falling behind is General.
Yeah. And it's this move that I don't know if we're going to see NAVI make again. I think that's the one mistake that you can, you know, when you're playing versus IO, sometimes you make this mistake where you try to bring the numbers and you get relocated and outnumbered. I think from now on, they're probably going to look to set up those ganks around where the IO is rather than on the opposite side. Liquid was just so prepared. They literally had Quakefoot sitting there behind, and they just, it was so read. It was so perfectly read by Liquid. So NAVI have to have a little bit more careful time when they do look for those type of plays. Just always have to remember about the IO numbers. But Liquid still looking to take these fights, NAVI. They've got Iceberg's fresh, finished BKB.
That's going to make the jump, Boxi. He's on to Roger. Dive forward here, always want to fly. Not going to commit with the egg yet. Looks like they're just going to let Roger go. As they don't feel confident anymore, NAVI, now that they've lost someone immediately at the start of it all. Iceberg tried to turn them, pop the egg. Iceberg with the BKB, but Liquid, they can step their way outside of the range of the Supernova and then jump back in. Boxi will get caught out by the instant Dragon Tail stun from Iceberg. Mickey's chrono in 25 seconds, so not quite yet. But again, really seeing NAVI struggle to fight back into Liquid right now.
Yeah, even without Chrono being up, like Mickey, like you said, he's going to have it up in 10 seconds. So this fight, it's going to get a lot harder for NAVI to
Boxi, he's in. He just jumps straight away onto General. General's going to go down. Roger, he comes in with a hook shot. We'll be able to push the two of them back with the cogs, but there's no kill potential from NAVI. As Liquid, they're fine. They'll push on, and yeah, now Chrono's up. NAVI's got to be very careful. Mickey, if he wants to,
waiting.
He might just go for opportunities. Boxi, Roger walks into him. Boxi's going to just continue the action onto this clockwork. Another kill for the Slardar, and he's already starting to hunt down more, laying him down with the corrosive haze. The space is there. Liquid take the tier 1 tower. NAVI getting pushed back completely, and I know it's early days, but I think you said it to me before, there's a lot of teams that will just ban out Boxi Slardar, and I think we're seeing why here.
I mean, especially with the IO in combination, it actually, you know, Slardar is already such a good hero versus these melees. Give him a free moon shard so that he can just literally get like 3 bashes during his corrosive is insane. As they jump forward, Boxi now might have to be careful. General, nice knockback.
They got the damage here, dragging Boxi in. Dragon Tail stun as Boxi, yeah, he's going to get left here. NAVI able to punish the Slardar, end his streak, and get a nice chunk of money there into Iceberg's bank account.
Beautiful knockback by General. The flame breaks. This is why he's known as this top tier Batrider, just getting those off, able to get the lasso. Liquid all set up here. They still do have their Chrono.
Quite fair. Got a lot of damage. Iceberg, he's got to put the BKB.
Under attack.
Mickey's looking for him.
Oh, he's not quite in range. Can't lay it down onto the Dragon Knight as Iceberg's able to walk away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm going to go for Roche, by the looks of it. They're overcharging the Mask of Madness and the bashes. They do it pretty quickly. They've got the Chronosphere if NAVI do
full
start to come.
He's not taking any damage during it because of that IO on the sidelines there. NAVI, they're going to have to try to contest this, but yeah, Chrono is going to make it hard, and no DK for him. It's going to make it pretty impossible.
Already on the side, Boxy's going to jump onto General. Moving in as well with the time dilation. General's getting bashed, and he's getting taken out. The Batrider falls. NAVI having to back away from the pit without General. very unlikely they can make some sort of steal, and Les always want to fly can some phenomenal dive.
Roger's trying as well. He's trying to find the angle, but he's being stalked.
Oh, yeah, he just managed to get Roger is in, but already it's been killed, and the Aegis have been picked up by Mickey. I mean, an excellent effort from Roger to actually find his way around the heroes and get in, but wasn't quite in time. As Liquid, they stay on top of him.
Looking for a play here, Mickey. He's got the chrono at the ready.
Boxi. There's the opening crush. V-Tune has got the blade mail, but they'll just fight on through it. With the Mask of Madness and the heals of the Dio, this blade mail does not bother Mickey one bit right now.
This is getting out of hand. Liquid's just steamrolling. 14-2. They've got Aegis control. They didn't have to use Chrono to kill the Spectre. Now they have it for when he respawns. Navi is just getting run over right now.
Boxi, he's on the hunt. He knows Iceberg went this way. Yeah, he's going to step back into vision, and if he's not careful now, Iceberg actually plays it smart. Heads into the camp and TP's out before he goes back under that opposite wall. He was very close to doing so. The angle that he went in meant that he was able to get away.
They've shown that they can kill the Spectre without the break quite easily now. That is, I mean, it's a huge concern. Navi, with their draft, with this DK, with this Batrider, this is not the position they want to be in. They want to be able to be much more even, have the Spectre be able to have some decent places to farm. But yeah, Liquid just, they're closing the map way too fast here. And yeah, these relocates are always going to be available for them to outnumber. These chronos are going to be devastating in these next few moments. And it's actually Liquid the one who's... I feel like Liquid's doing what I thought Navi was going to be doing in this series so far. In this first game, Liquid's just been the one dictating the pace, making all the aggressive moves. Navi just totally on the back foot.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier tower going down, and look at the timing.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Right before the outpost. Experience going to be denied from Navi.
Oh, Navi, how are they doing on V-Tune? V-Tune's nearly got his Manta. I mean, him
Still
and Iceberg still a decent farm, yeah. It's just the fact that at this moment in time, Liquid, they've got 3 cores and Navi's only really got 2. General's still suffering.
And the 2 cores that are farming well, they're playing into break, and both of them suffer from break so heavily, and there is so many different forms now that Liquid has a lot of different ways to keep them inside of it. And Boxi, he's 5-1-7. He's about to have BKB finished, so he's going to be able to deal with, you know, some of these annoying things that we mentioned earlier that could trip him up. As we see Mickey get himself a nice little free kill. BKB, he doesn't have to worry about these stuns, his Clockwork Battery Assault, this Phoenix. This game is going to start looking more and more impossible for Navi.
This is a very tough one for Navi. General at least did finish his Blink Dagger before he went down there. So we'll have that when he's back up. Relocate's coming in.
Bullying away Iceberg.
He's setting up. Boxi's in. He's able to close the gap with the jump. Iceberg has spot the BKB. Liquid, they'll back off. They won't want to fight into the DK's BKB, but it's another charge down on Iceberg.
Navi can't even fight back there when they know that they have all this number advantage. Insania just walks in as a 5-position Rubik versus a DK and just lifts him, just knowing how confident they are, how far ahead they really are here. And I mean, this 5-position Rubik is also incredibly farmed, if we haven't pointed that out. He's a beast. I mean, that's what people like. I feel like we're really going to beat this one in, especially after this series finishes. But stacking gets you so much gold as supports.
That really does make all the difference. That's absolutely one of the reasons why we do see Insania consistently just being a support that's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
In pretty much all of the games that Liquid's had.
They have this ward in the mid lane. Always want to fly. Has to be careful. Boxi looking to invade. He's got the Bash Prime.
They'll start on Roger. They found the clock, and Roger's gone. Whew. General just hiding on the cliff.
Well, that's a scary place to hide.
Yeah. Haven't got any vision though, so General will be fine.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just spotting things.
Now they do.
Now he's on the retreat. Boxi,
he's got the Bash Prime.
He wants to, and he's going to go for it. Just diving in straight away onto General. General had to use the lasso to save himself, but it's only going to buy him another couple of seconds. He still dies. As Liquid, there just seems to be no stopping them here in this game one. 17-2, 9k lead.
This IO Slardar duo is just absolutely...
I
think you have to get rid of one of these two. They're way too comfortable with it.
Look at this down bottom. Boxi opens up. They bring Mickey in. He tries to BKB TP out, but they've got all the bashes in the world between the two of them. I mean, absolutely. There's no way. There's no way we see Slardar IO again this series.
No, it's applying way too much pressure. They even got the Void getting away with it all too, so he's able to get all this farm because of the pressure that Boxi and Tiger are applying all over the map. Like, yeah, this Slardar specialist, as we said. Boxi runs away with a lot of games like this. 8-1 and 7. He's crushing it. Navi, they're gonna have to try to get some pickoffs while Liquid is split, while they don't have relocate right now. Any types of hopes and dreams for them to come back is just gonna have to be from taking advantage of those cooldowns. Setting up for Insania down bottom.
And they'll get him. And find the Rubik. Insania might himself a little more time, but nothing he can do to save himself. And the rest of Liquid are sweeping across now, so Navi's got to be careful about how they decide to stick around him. Mickey TPing over to the tier 1, and he has Chrono. Full MKB as well.
Yep.
They've got to get out of here, Navi.
They're still sticking around. V-Tune is TPing top to set up. He has Haunt available too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're gonna see Mickey for a second.
They're gonna see Mickey and they're gonna want to get out. They're not gonna want to go for this and
without Lasso and without Clockwork Hood, it's really hard. Iceberg's actually connecting though. They're thinking about making a move, maybe trying to pop Mickey. But Taiga's in the area.
It's gonna be hard. Can they do it? They're gonna try. They're in.
My Taiga.
Mickey. It's gonna be tethered, and he's able to run. He's actually gonna pop the Chrono, look to turn.
Egg is down.
But is out. They have the damage to kill General. Mickey jumps to the side. Boxi with the BKB out. The Supernova's done. They're hitting onto Boxi and Quaitha. As they're turning, Atos controlling Roger, as well as the telekinesis. Boxi's ever get the jump over. Odds always want to fly with Mickey backing him up. There's 3 go down on Navi. General coming in with the buyback. And they are going to smoke him and V-Tune.
I think this is just to get away, because V-Tune doesn't have a TP.
They can't get back in on this.
No. The three cores of Liquid are just far too strong. They killed the 2 supports, but then, you know, the 3 cores just, they handhold together. Boxi, Quaitha, and Mickey start standing next to each other, and Navi can't commit into this. They can't commit into this Viper, who just breaks their whole lineup. Now, though, they're looking for the wraparound. Lasso is ready. Clockwork respawning. There's a DD as well, right on top of V-Tune.
Okay. Let's see what he can do with the CD there. Lasso's down. V-Tune's trying to move in, but Boxi's in with the crush. And turnover towards General. Hookshot from Roger comes into play. They're keeping V-Tune safe. V-Tune turns onto Quaitha. Quaitha trapped him with him. Quaitha's going to go down, but the bashes and crushes from Boxi will end the life once more off the Spectre. Mickey jumps in with the bashes onto the Phoenix. Roger falls as well. It's a double kill for Mickey. It's just, again, another fight. Navi trying to make some sort of move, but Liquid are just too far ahead and too farmed right now for Navi to deal with at all.
And, you know, they may have gotten the Viper, but they ended up cogging everybody inside of it, and the Viper did drop Nether Toxin inside of the cogs. So Spectre was completely broken. No Desolate, no Dispersion. He just gets melted in a matter of seconds.
And you can see, I think, just sort of a sign of how desperate Navi feel right now with the build of V-Tune. I think this nullifier that he's queued up, I can only imagine it's because he wants to try and stop this Slardar from bashing, right? Because you can do that, right? You can dispel the bash. Or is that not true?
I don't believe you can dispel it.
Does it not remove the stacks and keep saying?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Why the nullify then for V-Tune? What's he looking at this game? Because it's not, you know, this is not the build you see on Spectres.
I think it's
sure, later on nullify, but never this early.
Yeah, I think he's just like desperate for some type of armor, maybe in that type of way, and then just any types of things so he can dispel Ghost Scepters, kill these backlines. But either way, it doesn't feel like it's that impactful. I think he's just desperate for anything here. Any type of small aims. I think they know how far behind they have been this whole game.
That's very tough. 14k down right now. 25-5. I mean, this is especially definitely in these playoffs the game that's had the biggest kill difference at this sort of time. You know, 25-5. Navi only being able to get 5 kills with a lineup as you say. You look at like this Roger Clock, this General Bat, this Iceberg DK. These are heroes that were hoping to find pickoffs and kills, and Liquid's just not let them have any opportunities like that this game. The kills that NAVI has found have pretty much been in the fights that Liquid's brought to them, where Liquid has happily lost one of the members in exchange for taking down multiple of NAVI.
Yeah, I mean, they've only lost their cores the once. I mean, they've actually lost every single hero only one. It's actually a very nice distribution coming out from Liquid.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They've just been very careful. They've been very careful, but very precise with their aggression and just excellent reads of the map. Like they knew exactly where NAVI was setting up a couple of their plays, and those relocate ganks, they broke NAVI. They broke all of NAVI's aggression they were trying to do, and they've just been fully on the back foot for so long now. Liquid can just pick and choose their battles. Boxi level 18 with Ags now done. An absolute beast.
In the river. They found General.
My God.
Boxi, he's found always want to fly. We've got the dive away, but they're chasing. He's got the disarm. And Snow can save him. The bash coming in at the last moment from Boxi. As the disarm wears off, that disarm just not lasting long enough to keep himself safe. Always want to fly. Up to the top they go. It's another one. It's getting pretty bloody hit.
I think Io with these bashing heroes just looks absolutely insane. I don't know, 140 attack speed when you're just, like, especially with a hero like Slardar, where your bash is just, it's going to happen every 4th hit. Like, it's insane. It actually is just such an insane combo with both him and the Void.
It is. It is. And the fact that both pierce spell immunity, there's nothing you can do to itemize against it.
There really is nothing you can do.
Well, it's the disarm. The disarm's the only thing.
Sure.
But even that's just not enough. And we'll see Vici. He's going to spend his money. He's just going to pick up a full diffusal. He wants
anything
something.
He can buy.
Yeah, anything that can help him in this moment. So going back to of course, the more standard build-up.
It feels like last hurrah. Yeah, last hurrah really coming in general. He's got his arcane rune. He's got telescope too, so he's got some nice cast range for his catch. But yeah, real hard as Iceberg. He will reclaim the outpost, but gonna get quickly taken away, and he's gotta be very careful with his positioning. We got a good TP out though. Mickey just confidently showing himself in the mid lane. He's got the S and Y. He's got the sliver. He's almost got the status. They're going to commit, though.
As you say, he's got the Aegis. Can they even get him the wards? They can't.
Heals?
They can't. He's going to pop the egg. He's going to head over to the egg. He's got the chrono down onto everybody else. He is getting stunned, but again, Tiger comes in, keeps him alive. I mean, this one looks pretty over here with NAVI just getting slaughtered here in their base. And there it is. GG's called. Game 1 of this grand finals. And it's a very, very easy one for Liquid. 31-5, 30 minutes in. 21k lead. A Warrior